Okay, good Sunday morning, everyone. Meteorologist Jordan Evans here on our Facebook account, as well as our YouTube uh, account as well, checking the streams to make sure we are live as we get ready for Eclipse across America. That happens tomorrow. As you can see, we'll have our coverage there on both of our stations, our sister station, WJLA 24/7 News, that's 1 to 4, as well as WJLA 7 News from 2 to 4 o'clock. Chief Meteorologist Veronica Johnson, she will have all the highlights and the coverage as it happens live. It happens quick. It will be from Texas to Maine with just within a couple of hours or even less as again, that total solar eclipse will be happening across the United States. So again, just checking the streams here to make sure everything is working, and then we will get started with the rest of this forecast. So let's talk about it. Again, we'll talk about the eclipse. I think really that's the big thing I want to focus on for this. So for the weather forecast, head over to our website, wjla.com/weather. Because today it's looking pretty good with the sunshine, warming temperatures, and 70s return as early as tomorrow. Some good news there. All right, here we are on YouTube and Facebook. So again, we'll get things started. Here we go. So we're going to take you through that path of totality. Again, this is going to be happening very quickly. So it starts at 1:27, around 1:30 p.m. local time. There on the international border of Texas, southwest Texas, just south and west of San Antonio. So we'll take you through the path of totality. You can see all the different communities, towns, and cities. So just to the north and west of Austin, parts of the Austin metro will see that totality, but really it's the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex. That's where we'll see totality at 1:42 p.m. local time. We put the clouds on top of it because lots are traveling to all these cities in the path of totality. So if Dallas or around there in Texas is your destination, you probably already know, but unfortunately, clouds look to probably win with this, as sky cover will be anywhere from 60 to 80%. Clouds will be increasing throughout the day as severe weather will be in the forecast later in the afternoon and evening there for Texas. So just keep that in mind. It's possible we do get some breaks in the clouds right there at 1:42 p.m. local time in Dallas. We'll see if that happens as the path will continue to move farther to the north and east. Now, the cloud cover will start to decrease some as we get into northeast Texas, southeast Oklahoma, and eventually Arkansas. So Little Rock there, local time at 1:52 p.m. Sky cover forecast as of now at 40%. And it's possible that sky cover could just be referring to some of the high clouds instead of the low, thick, puffy clouds. That may not be in the forecast. It's likely we could just have some high clouds. So again, not mostly clear, but at least high clouds, you'd be able to see that eclipse a lot better versus if it was those low type of clouds that are puffy and you can't really see anything through them. So that's what we're looking at as we get into Arkansas, southeast Missouri, southern Illinois, Paducah, Kentucky there, eventually up toward Evansville, Indiana, Indianapolis, that major city in the path of totality. So 3:07 local time is the for the peak 100% totality. Sky cover as of now still at 40% for Indianapolis. Temperatures into the 70s, so at least the weather temperature-wise will cooperate across much of the path of totality. Into Ohio there, sky cover anywhere from 40 to 50%. I think that'll be more in the way of high clouds instead of those low puffy clouds, as I mentioned. Cleveland at 68 degrees. Now, unfortunately, more overcast conditions as we get toward upstate New York. So Lake Ontario going to have a lot of puffy clouds, potentially some overcast conditions. So Buffalo, your forecast of sky cover at 80%. That doesn't look to change a whole lot between now and tomorrow. Now, better conditions. In fact, a lot of people have probably changed their plans to try to get up toward where we'll see the best viewing, and that's going to happen likely northern New England. So yes, Burlington, Vermont, right now 50%, just depends on the high cloud cover, but once we get east of Burlington, northern New Hampshire into Maine, I think Maine has the best chance for all those clear conditions for the total solar eclipse tomorrow. Sky cover there likely at 10% or less, as high pressure will be in control behind that weather maker that was bringing all the rain to parts of the East Coast over the last couple of days. So Maine, you look to win in terms of the best viewing conditions with this total solar eclipse as we go into that time frame during the afternoon tomorrow. Back here in the Washington, D.C. area, not total but partial for us, so not, again, complete coverage, but partial partial solar eclipse means we'll have our coverage right around 89%. So, I mean, that's pretty good. We'll likely see that dim sunshine during the afternoon. We'll have some passing clouds, temperatures in the low 70s. But again, you'll still want to definitely have those glasses because that 89% coverage, some of that sunlight will still be coming through. But at least we'll have some dim sunshine out there for the afternoon. 3:20 p.m. local time here in D.C. is our max eclipse, and then eventually that comes to an end around 4:32 p.m. This will be a big event across the entire U.S. tomorrow, so our coverage again starting at 2 o'clock on WJLA and 1 o'clock on WJLA 24/7 News, our sister channel, that's Channel 8, again, for the afternoon tomorrow. I will talk about a couple of weather events because, again, the Lone Star State, if that is your travel destination for tomorrow, here comes a severe weather risk. That is after the eclipse, so not expecting rain while it's happening, but later in the afternoon, going into the evening, eventually some storms will start to fire off. We'll take you to one of the long-range models or short-range models here for Monday afternoon. Here's 10 o'clock, as you can see, again, this model indicating mostly cloudy skies. Is it possible there 1 p.m.? You see that little stretch of maybe a break in the clouds? That's possible. Can that get far enough south to be over that path of totality? Big question mark. We'll have to see what happens going into tomorrow afternoon. But notice, at least from a future radar standpoint, don't have much in the way going on right now. Once we get towards 5, 6 o'clock, those storms start to fire off from the south, moving into the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex by 9 to 10 p.m. So staying in Dallas overnight, Monday into Tuesday, some storms could pack a punch with some gusty winds, even some tornadoes are possible, and even more storms firing off to the north and west, those along the Red River for the Texas-Oklahoma state line. That's where we could also have that chance for any tornadoes, as, again, eventually that turns into a flash flooding concern there for Arkansas and parts of Louisiana, as all that rain does make its way farther off to the north and east. And once it gets toward the DMV, we'll be tracking the showers later in the week, so that's why already Weather Prediction Center has the flooding concerns at a level 2 out of 4 for us starting on Thursday. So at least our rain chances will peak on Thursday for any heavy rain potential. Eventually that should come to an end by Friday later in the afternoon. So again, our eclipse coverage, that happens starting tomorrow, 1 o'clock, sister station, WJLA 24/7 News with Chief Meteorologist Veronica Johnson, as well as WJLA 7 News, ABC 7 at 2 p.m. from 2 to 4. And then, of course, after at 4 o'clock, we'll have our newscast for all the latest news, weather, and sports throughout the rest of the evening. And, of course, all the coverage after the eclipse and all the great video. You'll see it on social media. You'll see it probably in the days to follow. It'll be a great event to track across the country going into tomorrow. That's it for today. Sunshine today. Enjoy the drier weather, and then eventually rain starting Tuesday evening. Have a good Sunday.